Hey everybody, this is Reggie from Family Films, and I'm going to be doing a director's commentary on our recent short film, The Mysterious Mr. Smith. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get right into the video. So as some of you guys may know, that a lot of the inspiration for this short film that we did came from the Halloween movies by John Carpenter. So I watched a director's commentary where he was talking about how he wanted an opening theme of like the camera going down a road, but he eventually changed it to the slow zooming into the pumpkin. But I really liked this idea of Otis, our main character, driving around on these empty roads by himself, and so that's exactly what we did. So the truck is driving alone. All the colors around him are very dark. Like there's a dark green, and there's like pale green, and then there's the beige of the road, and there's this big, bright, vibrant red truck, which brings a lot of attention to it. And then here he's picking up the main antagonist, Mr. Smith, to bring him along. And I really liked this shot because with the very little sound and just the very creepy kind of piano mixed with the loneliness of the shots, it really came together and put this really sense of isolatedness to the beginning of the film, which I thought was really, really cool and matched the rest of the themes in the movie. Another thing I noticed is that while filming, I forgot my tripod, so we didn't really have any way of stabilizing the camera. But especially in this scene in the beginning and in the couple scenes at the end, when we're watching Mr. Smith walk away, we get this real feeling with the shaky camera that it's almost like someone is actually standing there or sitting there watching these events unfold, and it adds to the uneasiness that we want the viewer to be feeling, and like this kind of almost anticipation as if something's gonna jump out and grab them, which I think the shakiness of the camera helped with a little bit. And just a fun fact, this scene where the car kind of drives right into the camera, I didn't want to actually have my grandpa, who was driving the truck, crash into me, so we had to have him start with the truck on the camera and then have him reverse at a quick speed and then reverse the footage. Yeah, what a couple people that were talking to me about the film didn't really know is that I'm actually driving in this scene here. There's no after effects of like adding in the trees going away. We're just driving up the driveway of the house that we were filming at. And this scene took us like 5 times. We thought it was going to be really simple, but there was no real easy way to set up my phone, which we were using as the camera for this film, on the dashboard. So with all the moving around the car does, it kept falling down, so we had to do the scene over and over and over again until we eventually just had it propped up with a bunch of different paper that was in the car. And we had a little costuming mix up here as Paul's character, Mr. Smith, is still wearing his hat, which Paul was just wearing in between scenes because it was actually really cold outside, and that we're actually pushing the truck there. We just put it in a neutral and then just kind of pushed it a couple feet. But yeah, as you can see right here, the hat is now gone. I have to give a huge shout out to my grandpa, Jeff Henwood, for throwing together this scene I really liked here with the camera movement, because he's not very good with the camera. He's not very tech savvy. But he did a lot of the filming in the actual movie, and it actually turned out really well. He got the shots that I wanted pretty accurately to what I was imagining in my head through just me showing him once what I kind of wanted. Don't know what it is about this shot through the windshield, but I really liked it, and I'm really glad that we ended up keeping it in the final cut because it wasn't in my original plan. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the look of the inside of the hotel that they were staying at. I just knew that I kind of wanted it to seem like a normal place, and that kind of really worked out because the house was already pretty messy. So we just kind of left it and moved around the main room a little bit to kind of create this makeshift desk for my grandma here, who's playing the hostess and greeting everybody, and just make it seem like a really hectic area. Like there's kids running around and drawing and stuff. It's not a very professional place. They just kind of randomly stumbled upon it, and it actually turned out not too bad. Another congratulations is due to my grandma in this scene for really kind of getting that reaction from Paul's character. He's being very rude to her because she didn't hear his name the first time, and she's kind of playing it off like she's nice while still being angry through her head as she's trying to be more considerate for the customer. In my opinion, this is where the movie starts getting really good, as we get that more one-on-one time with Paul's very isolated, kind of sociopathic, inverted character as he's in this small room alone, and his true colors really start to show that he's not very stable, and he has some sort of like OCD type stuff. Like, he's very prepared, he knows where things are, it has to be a certain way, everything's nice and clean and cut and proper while he's in his room. And then we kind of nonchalantly throw in that the pills are something that he is addicted to. This should be the last time that I'm giving congratulations to one of my family for acting, but I really have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed Paul's physical acting of this character, and I'm really glad that I picked Paul instead of my grandpa or myself to play Mr. Smith, because it's almost as like I kind of created the character in my mind to be Paul. Like, he's very distant almost. And when you really get to know Paul and you talk to him and he's not just joking around, you kind of get that sense from him. Not at this extent, because, like, obviously this guy is like a sociopath. But, like, the way that he interacts with other people, and then his body language is very reminiscent of Paul in his actual being. Another thing I did, just a little small kind of hint thing that you wouldn't really get, is when he's putting his glasses down, that shows that he's kind of done this before, and this isn't the first time, which kind of adds like if you understood that scene, it kind of adds a creepiness to it. So here, when we have him transform into Bagface, which is the name that I picked after I drew up the credits, which I kind of regret. I just kind of put him as Murderer, I think, in the credits, but I chose Bagface as the name, as he actually stepped on a pair of glasses there. They were already broken, which was handy that we had some broken glasses on us. Those are real glasses. Another thing was we didn't really have the supplies to just kind of make this movie. Like, this movie was very spur of the moment type thing. We just kind of threw it together, but we were really lucky because we were working on our Batman web series, and that is the mask that we're using for episode 1's villain, Scarecrow, and it fit my grandpa, so we automatically had to use it for this movie, which was pretty convenient. The only thing I didn't really like about this scene was that there's some sound missing. Like, there's a couple of parts where I'm like, my mouth is moving, because I'm giving I think Paul was filming here direction on where to move for the camera, because outside, like just off to the left, there was a big party going on, so I had to kind of cut out the people yelling, drinking and stuff. And from here on out, it was a little difficult, especially right there, to light what was going on, because we don't really have any actual lighting equipment, so we're just kind of going off of the lights on the inside and some flashlights and stuff, and the light on my camera on my phone. So from here on, it's pretty much just bootleg lighting, which I think kind of put a damper on the movie a little bit in these scenes. But also that orange light there was really cool, our street light that we have out there. But it would have been a lot better if we had some actual lighting equipment. It was around here that it was actually like really, really starting to get later and like late in the night, so we had to start speeding things up. So like this shot here, I think could have been much better. I would have much preferred like a shot from the ground looking up at the villain, Bagface chasing me. But we were all getting really cold and tired, and like we were basically just running out of fuel, not literally, but figuratively. So some of the shots are definitely not as good quality as they should be. Most of the quote-unquote stunts in this part look really fake, but right now, that right there was a real slip. I almost fell because the grass was very wet. Yeah, so here my grandpa stabs me with a knife that we knocked the blade out of, and then I spit watered down ketchup all over him, which we don't really get to see that red part, so I guess we didn't really have to use ketchup because it did taste really, really bad. But it definitely gave that nice look with the light coming from the headlights of the truck. That's the look I really wanted. Another fun fact, we had to do that scene a couple times because Paul was getting a little anxious because it was getting cold and the battery was dying on my phone. And the actual battery in the truck died. So we had to get some of the guys at the party to come give us a jump so we could move the truck. And it took us like an hour. Yeah, these next couple scenes where Paul goes back into the room, half of them are like, the first half are in the nighttime in the movie, but in actual reality, this is in the daytime. We just went outside and we duct taped a black sheet over Paul's window and then closed the blinds. And then we were pretending like it's night, and then we had this whole transformation sequence, and then he turns back into Paul, and then once Paul's in his other outfit, then it's the daytime again. I think this scene was really cool because it almost kind of confused the people, because like the first time it transformed from Paul into Bagface immediately, but then this time it transitions and he looks the exact same. And then in this scene here, when he's taking off the mask, and Paul just looks so utterly like drained and confused like that. It was really cool. Paul's wasn't even acting. Like I didn't even tell him to do anything for that scene. I just started recording him, and he just looked like that once he took the mask off, and it matched the scene perfectly. Yeah, this shot here is another one that I really, really like. Is Paul's kind of sitting there, and then right there, he goes dead. And he puts his glasses on, and he's just kind of shoving down his emotions and memories of what had just happened. And he's just dealing with it, because like he knows at this point what he's done and then what he has to do. And this isn't his first time. He's experienced. He knows how to control these feelings and emotions. And it adds a different, less innocent feeling towards this character in the movie, which we got in the beginning. I especially like this shot, not in this exact part where he's looking around, but right about here, when he kind of looks straight forward again, and he closes his eyes and takes that deep breath, and he's just absorbing the space around him and coming to terms with what he's just done. The ending of the movie is something that I hadn't really planned for, but I think this part where Paul just kind of rejuvenates himself by standing there and then just kind of walks back down the street all alone while the music plays out, and we just kind of watch from this tree as he walks away without breaking the scene at all. Really gave a nice uneasy feeling ending, and especially with the focus of the camera shifting in between Paul and the tree, it's very disorienting. And I really enjoy this ending, especially with the piano. The piano music by Lucas King fit the movie so well. And I just really loved this ending, and it was completely spontaneous. I had no plan to do this. So that's it for my director's commentary on our short film, The Mysterious Mr. Smith. If you guys haven't seen it, then you guys, definitely just go check it out. I know that if you're watching this before you've seen the movie, then you kind of spoil it with the visuals, but you don't really get to hear any of the dialogue, which really helps. And that's another thing, is we've never really done a short film with dialogue in it yet. We've only done 5-minute short things thrown together. But this one is definitely our favorite and our best product of the things that we've done in the past. And we really, really like it, and we hope you guys like it too. If you have any thoughts or any constructive criticism you guys think you could give us, then please drop that in the comments here, or go watch the actual short film and drop it in the comments there. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that video. And if you did, drop a like, comment some criticism, and do subscribe, because there's going to be more movies and more reviews and different things on this channel. And we're really taking this seriously, and we hope that you guys take us seriously too. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.